In this video, we're going to teach you everything you need to know about visiting Rio Celeste Waterfall, an electric blue waterfall in Costa Rica so vibrant that it almost seems fake. But I promise you, it's completely natural and just as stunning in real life.
Hi, we're Jake and Emily, the two roaming souls. We're experienced travelers who make helpful guides about the world's best destinations. But our videos aren't really about us. They're about helping you get the most out of your travels. For visiting this gorgeous waterfall, you need reservations for Tenorio Volcano National Park. We'll explain the permits, fees, hiking trails, and the forever debated question, do you need a guide?
We'll also cover how to navigate the clunky reservation website, the stingy list of prohibited items, bag searches, and other more unexpected hurdles for visiting the park. So come along to learn all about visiting Rio Celeste Waterfall and if we think it's worth the trip.
Permits and fees. Visiting Rio Celeste requires admission to Tenorio Volcano National Park. The price for one-day admission is $12 for foreign adults, $5 for foreign children, and free for children under 2, plus 13% tax. And this part is very important. You need to book your ticket in advance online. At the beginning of rainy season in May, we were able to book the day before.
But during the busier dry season from December to April, booking days or weeks ahead is a good idea, since they only sell a limited number of tickets per day. Booking your tickets on the SINAC website is a bit of a tricky process, and the website doesn't translate perfectly into English. So at the end of this video, we'll walk you through all the steps.
But for now, just know you need to do this in advance on the SINAC website, linked top right and in the description below. And cell service or Wi-Fi are not necessarily available at the park, so don't just show up the day of expecting to get in. Admission tickets have timed entry slots between 8 a.m. and 1:05 p.m. But once you're in, you can stay as long as you like until the park closes at 5 p.m. I recommend booking the 8 a.m. or earliest available time slot if you can, because you'll get to experience the park with fewer people.
How to get here. The Rio Celeste Waterfall is found within Tenorio Volcano National Park, or in Spanish, Parque Nacional Volcán Tenorio, which is located 1.5 hours from Liberia or 4 hours from San Jose, the two cities with the most popular international airports in Costa Rica. Most people get here by car, shuttle van, or bus. Rental cars are a good option for exploring Costa Rica on your own schedule and venturing a little farther off the beaten path. And we took that to the next level by renting an overlanding camping rig from Nomad America. You can check out our video all about that experience by clicking in the top right or in the description below.
But shuttles and buses are another popular way to reach Rio Celeste that leaves the driving up to someone else. And if you're looking for accommodation near the park, Bijagua is the closest small town nearby, but you can find some accommodations even closer.
Parking. If you drive yourself here, don't just put Rio Celeste into Google Maps because it will take you to the wrong place. Put in Parqueo del Parque Nacional Tenorio. However, the park doesn't manage any of their own parking lots. So when you arrive, drive right to the closest lot that isn't full. The parking area at Parqueo del Parque Nacional Tenorio costs 3,000 colones. However, there is some free parking right across the street next to a market, which we had no issues with. Some people might feel more secure with the paid parking, but honestly, I don't think anyone's really minding your vehicle either way. And regardless, the same guidelines apply. Don't leave any valuables in your car.
Hiking to Rio Celeste Waterfall. The national park is only accessible on foot, so reaching the waterfall requires hiking. There's really only one out and back trail in the park, so all visitors are condensed onto this single trail. With this being such a popular national park, there really isn't many ways for visitors to spread out, hence why we recommend going early. The round-trip hike to the waterfall is 2.8 kilometers and 122 meters of elevation. The hardest part of the hike for most people will be the 250 stairs down to the waterfall, or rather climbing back up said stairs. I honestly love the views at the waterfall you get from the stairs, but just know this is a popular photo spot, so it can be pretty jammed up with other people just trying to pass by in both directions.
Once you reach the very bottom, there's a viewing platform, where you will likely feel some cool spray from the waterfall. The waterfall, and the entire river for that matter, gets its perceived color from heavy minerals in the water. These minerals are actually mostly white, but they coat the entire riverbed with a white crust. And this reflective riverbed is why the color is so vibrant. I was pretty surprised that this viewing deck has a gaping hole in it. Like seriously, the primary destination in the park, the most popular place to stand for photos, and they haven't made it a priority to repair the damage. Anyway, just don't back up for a photo and put your leg through the hole. Maybe it'll be fixed by the time you visit.
One thing thing to be aware of is that the river may not be blue after tropical storms, so just something to keep in mind, especially during rainy season from May to December. At the top of the stairs, the trail continues to a few other notable sites. To complete the entire hike, it's about 5.1 kilometers. If you have the energy, I think it's worth the extra hiking. The first spot is just a viewpoint of Tenorio Volcano itself, but depending on clouds, you may or may not be able to see it. The next site is the Blue Lagoon, a serene pool of water that really showcases the intense blue color. And right around the corner from that is the bubbling spring. Then there are a couple of bridges that make excellent photo spots. And finally, you reach the place where the mineral-rich blue water mixes into Rio Celeste.
Do you need a guide? You have the option of hiring a naturalist guide for your visit to the park. And as far as just getting to the waterfall and exploring the park trails, a guide definitely is not necessary. But the main benefit of having a guide is that they will show you many more animals that you would almost certainly miss on your own. The park is known for having lots of biodiversity. You could see things like sloths, frogs, lizards, birds, and one thing I've always wanted to see is a tapir.
But since your only way to experience the park is just on a short, crowded trail, in our experience, it wasn't really the best place to encounter wildlife. We were just too focused on getting to the waterfall quickly to be looking for wildlife. And then on the hike back out, the trail is a little too crowded to have much success. But if wildlife is your goal, we would highly recommend hiring a naturalist guide. Guides just have such an intimate knowledge of these ecosystems and the plants and animals that inhabit them. And you can ask them questions and ultimately gain a greater appreciation of what you're seeing. And unless you have a really fancy pair of binoculars or zoom lens, the guide's visual scopes provide a comfortable way to get amazing views of these animals.
But the rather awkward thing is that even if you don't hire a guide, it's hard not to benefit from their skills. You're sure to come across guide groups who are all gathered looking at something. So even though you didn't pay for the guide, you're not gonna not look at what they're seeing. I mean, it's just human nature. But the bottom line is, unless you're a skilled naturalist yourself, a good guide will greatly improve your experience.
Look at it. It's showing us. Crap. Look at my breakfast, he says.
We will link to some excellent certified guides in the description.
But if, like us, your budget requires you to pick and choose, I would skip the guide for this park and instead spend that money for guides in places like Manuel Antonio National Park or Monteverde. Or even many private reserves are better for wildlife spotting than the busier trails in national parks. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, give us a like to help our channel grow. Thanks!
Prohibited items. Something the park takes very seriously is the list of prohibited items, and they search everyone's bags upon entry for compliance. While I do appreciate their commitment to preserving these parks with strict rules, they can definitely pose a little bit of a surprise or inconvenience to the unprepared.
No single-use plastic of any kind is allowed in the park, which includes plastic water bottles, so bring a reusable water bottle if you can. Also, alcohol and tobacco are not permitted, and no pets allowed in the park.
Drones are also not allowed, so the drone footage you've seen from this video is from Storyblocks. I even tried to bring my drone into the park just because we were on a camping trip, so I had nowhere else to leave it. I pleaded that I wasn't gonna fly it, but understandably they still made me store it in our car, which sadly goes against the practical advice of not leaving any valuables in your car. But we had no other choice, and luckily nothing bad happened.
Can you swim in Rio Celeste? While you might be tempted to jump in the beautiful river to cool off, swimming in the park is prohibited. But fear not, one place near the park that you can swim for free in the river is called Dante's Free Pool. There's a larger paid parking lot, but also a couple free spots just by a pullout across the bridge. Be careful because the river flows quickly, so it's best for strong swimmers. Additionally, there's a few locals with river access you can pay to swim on their property. One place that people seem to really enjoy is called Mirador Rio Celeste.
How to book your reservation tickets. The only place to get tickets is on the SINAC website, a government site that translates rather poorly into English. I'm going to walk you through the whole process because even though I can read a little Spanish, I still found it quite challenging. I already recorded this tutorial for visiting Manuel Antonio National Park, so that's what you're seeing here. But just know that the process is practically the same. Instead, you just select Parque Nacional Volcán Tenorio. First, you need to create an account or log into an existing account if you have one. If you're just in the initial planning phase, you can check ticket availability for the dates you're interested in. Something worth mentioning is that they put the day before the month. So 20/07/25 is July 20th, 2025, which gets a little more confusing if the day is 12 or less. But annoyingly, you cannot click through to purchase from here. You need to go back to buy, then online reservation, then scroll down to the park you're interested in. You choose your desired date, then your desired timed entry slot. Then select the number of tickets you need. These items down here are for seniors, citizen or foreign children, and children under 2 years old. Accept the terms and continue. Tickets will be held for 12 minutes while you check out. You need to put in the names of everyone visiting, a passport or license number, and your country of citizenship. Then your credit card information. And this stuff down here is for if you want an electronic invoice, but you can uncheck the box since you'll get an email confirmation anyway. In that email, it contains your ticket, one single barcode for everyone you just purchased tickets for, plus an attachment with more terms and conditions. This frustrating process is actually used for visiting all national parks in Costa Rica, so you'll have to go through a similar reservation if you want to visit other national parks in the country. An important thing to know is that they do check the identifications with the numbers you entered for each person, so be sure to bring those IDs and passports with you.
Is it worth it to visit Rio Celeste? This might depend on your particular interests, but I'm obsessed with anything this color blue, so it was almost never a question that we would visit this site. However, it is somewhat an out-of-the-way destination from other popular places like La Fortuna, Monteverde, or other beach destinations. As big hikers and nature lovers, we were very thrilled to see this beautiful site in person. If it's your first time experiencing something like this, you will surely be blown away.
But personally, it isn't our first time seeing water like this, so that may have reduced our amazement just a little bit. And we personally didn't see much wildlife. But again, hiring a guide probably would have changed that.
And overall, there isn't too much else to do in the national park. So for just a day trip, it can feel like a lot of travel time to essentially just see one attraction. But perhaps a way to make it worth it is to spend a couple of days around Bijagua. The mountain scenery in the area is just incredible. And Bijagua is a bit of a hidden gem where you can experience many of the best parts of Costa Rica, but without massive crowds and development that overwhelm other inland destinations like La Fortuna and Monteverde.
If you're looking for a great place to get some food and drinks after exiting the park, we recommend the Blue River Brewery. Enjoy a well-earned craft beer and some food with the stunning views from their patio.
Thanks for coming along on another Two Roaming Souls adventure. We hope you have an amazing time at the park. And if you found this video helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more travel videos of Costa Rica and beyond. And we'll catch you on the next one.